Hey everyone, super stoked about today's podcast guest, Spencer Brendel. Spencer graduated from college just over a year ago, and his senior project actually turned out to be his career currently, which is working for PlayHard GiveBack, which is the organization that he founded. It's a super awesome company. They partner athletes with social causes, so it's a really unique and interesting way to give back. And Spencer has a great story, and it's something that 20-somethings like you and me can relate to. So let's go ahead and listen in. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Spencer Brendel. He is the founder of Play Hard Give Back. Spencer, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for coming on to the podcast today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. So why don't we just get into who you are and your background, where you went to school, and just kind of give the listeners an idea of who you are and your background.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Sun Valley, Idaho. Went all the way, did elementary school through high school, and then moved away when I was 14 to Colorado Springs, Colorado to pursue my hockey career. Went there for a year and then moved to Salt Lake City to play hockey once again. Came back halfway through my senior year in high school and got to graduate with all my friends. And then after high school, I went to Sweden and lived in Sweden for a couple years, playing in the Elite League, which is pretty high-level hockey over in Sweden. I was in a southern town called Tingsryd next to Malmo and Vecla. And that was awesome. Got to travel around, played a tournament in Norway, and then after the season, got to travel around Europe a bit. So that was definitely a really cool experience, and had a billet family over there, which I'm still very close with. They've come over here and visited, and I've gone over there a couple of times since then.
Awesome.
And then I got recruited to the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, after Sweden, and played my 4 years of NCAA hockey for them, and then just graduated in December and moved back here.
Awesome. Cool. So talk to us about your trip to Africa and Asia, and how that really kind of changed everything, and really kind of opened up your eyes, and led to you creating this organization.
Yeah, for sure. I was 9 years old when I went on my first trip to Africa. We went to Kenya, Nairobi, and then traveled around a little bit outside of Nairobi. Went to Masai Mara and some other places. But I mean, as a 9-year-old, it definitely inspired me and opened up my eyes, especially coming from kind of a unique community such as Sun Valley. You can say that we kind of somewhat live in a bubble.
Mm.
And so traveling to these third world countries, it was like, holy cow, we have it really good where we come from, and so that kind of was an eye-opener. I got to climb Mount Kenya while I was there. I was the youngest one at that time to ever climb Mount Kenya with my grandpa.
Nice.
And that was really cool. And then the year after that, I traveled to Asia and got to travel down to Cambodia, and go to some pretty rural areas there as well. And so, combining those two trips really, instilled in me at a very young age to, want to give back, and knowing, what's out there. And it also, changed my life and made me very passionate about traveling. That's, one of my biggest passions is traveling and being in a certain situation or environment that I've never been in, and I don't really know what to do. I really like that feeling, so that's kind of the outcome of the Africa and Asia trip.
Cool. Yeah, I actually didn't know that you went there when you were that young, but that's super cool that you got to do that. And Africa would be a crazy, awesome place to get to for sure. So could you talk to us about what led you to create Play Hard Give Back, and also kind of describe to us what you guys do?
Yeah, so it all started about 2 years ago. And my dad and I took a trip down the coast of California on Highway 1 in our 29-foot Winnebago, and kind of did some soul searching. And being involved in the athletic community growing up and then going on those trips, I really wanted to combine those two. And so still wanting to be involved in the athletic community and working with athletes, and taking the trip, wanting to give back to certain causes both locally and throughout the U.S. and throughout the world. And so we kind of came up with the idea of it on the road trip, and we came up with the trail mix idea because it was kind of most customizable. It was cheap. We could literally, go to the store, buy nuts and berries, put it in a bag, and that's kind of how we presented it to our first athlete, which was Travis Ganong. He just finished 5th in the Olympics this last winter, and he's 9th in the world now for downhill skiing. And so, after the road trip, I came back to Sun Valley and applied for a entrepreneurship grant through a locally based organization here in Sun Valley called Wild Gift. And Wild Gift is all about empowering better world entrepreneurs. And their program is you go into the White Clouds and the Boulder Mountains here in Idaho for 20 days, and you backpack, over 100 miles, and you work on your business plan every night. You have different mentors that come in and out of the trek. You're with 4 other entrepreneurs, which they pick 4 entrepreneurs a year, and it's an awesome program. So when you come out of the wilderness without any distractions of, quote unquote, the real world with emails and phone calls and social media and whatever, you get this clear vision and this plan that you want to pursue on your business plan. And they supported me throughout the last year with quarterly disbursements of $2,000 and mentorship along the way. I took that business plan to college and used it as my senior project, and worked on with a couple other classmates, and kind of really got it going, got some more steps dialed in, and then presented it. And when I turned it in, my professor in exchange handed me a $7,000 check, and she said, "I want to be your first investor." So I was like, "All right, right on, let's do this." And so graduated college, and then came back here. I'm full-time on PlayHard GiveBack. We've raised more capital since then and brought on new team members. So PlayHard GiveBack is an online platform that aligns athletes with social causes and giving back efforts. And we help facilitate their fundraising needs through selling PlayHard GiveBack products on our website. So we're kind of piggybacking off of the Girl Scout model a little bit, and some other crowdfunding websites, and really combining, the best of, one platform and the best of another platform, and kind of combining it into our own. And we're currently right now working with 16 athletes, most of them being alpine athletes, but we are bringing on some mountain bikers, some cyclists, a surfer, hockey player, and we're trying to go into more of the youth sports organizations and giving the youth sports organizations the same opportunity that we're giving our elite athletes. I don't know if any of you listening ever raised money as a kid, playing like soccer, football, selling cookie dough or wrapping paper, Christmas wreaths, and I just remember it was so boring and not engaging at all. And the industry hasn't changed in 30 years, and so that's what we're really trying to disrupt, is that fundraising market.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. And so here you are, a post-grad, devoting your career to an organization that focuses on social causes, which that's speaks a lot about you and what you guys are doing. But unfortunately, that seems to be pretty rare. And in your opinion, why do you think it is that a lot of kids right out of college are just they're not really concerned with doing things that are kind of transcend making as much money as possible, or getting that sweet car, or landing that killer job? Could you speak to that a bit?
Yeah, for sure. I do think the majority of graduates do concentrate on just, the corporate world, I guess. They just kind of want to move up the ladder and have, that security of having a good job and getting paid and establishing themselves. But I kind of look at it as, you only are young once, and might as well try to do something cool and inspiring while you're young instead of, wait until you're old, I guess. But I just think that, there are more kids in our generation starting to think about, social causes and giving back efforts and, going green. But I don't know. I think that it should be more, involved in the educational programs. I did a little bit in college, but maybe starting in high school I think would be a good idea. Just getting the kids more, stoked about working with nonprofits and educating them about the benefits of, social causes and giving back. I don't really have a really good answer on why, the generation that I'm with doesn't really concentrate on giving back or social causes after graduation, but I hope to inspire more so that the kids coming up below us do concentrate more on social causes.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, we're 20 something. We're not going to have all the answers, but the least we can do is at least devote at least some of our time and efforts to these causes, and again, hopefully inspire other people. Another thing, a lot of people don't really concern themselves with these kind of causes until they themselves, become aware of, for example, poverty, whereas, you went to African Asia and you saw poverty there, or another instance would be, losing a loved one to a disease or something like that. What do you think needs to happen for, younger people, 20-somethings, to begin to be more concerned with causes greater than, make money, etc.?
I would suggest traveling. I mean, that's kind of what opened up my eyes. I think traveling is a huge educational tool if you can make it work. I know sometimes that, financially it's hard to do, but there are, really cool ways that it is possible. Grants, or, going on a trip and working at a farm, or, doing something just completely out of the ordinary and putting yourself out there. That's kind of what, inspired me to work with social causes, is just being hands-on in that kind of environment. And, it literally took, traveling halfway across the world and be like, holy cow, this is crazy. We should probably, try to figure this out. So my suggestion would be travel. Get out there and, have fun and just go wherever you want.
There you go. It's as easy as that, guys. Cool, yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I myself am a huge fan of travel. Currently saving up to do just that. But again, back to what you said earlier about you kind of lived in a bubble before you went to these other places. I do feel like we do kind of get stuck into a routine, and where the growth really comes, I believe, is getting outside of your comfort zone, like you said, because again, it just really opens up your eyes and gives you a perspective and all that. So for sure. Next question. So I follow you guys on Instagram, and I've seen, obviously we are 20-something, so we are caught up in all the social media, Instagram, hashtag, and all that good stuff. But I've seen several images on your page, hashtag gives you purpose. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. It started as a little jab, if you will, against Red Bull.
Okay.
It gives you wings, so we kind of played off that and wanted to make it more meaningful, and so we came up with gives you purpose. And we really believe in living in the present and doing stuff with intention. And so when you do your sports or you give back, I think that it's really important to consciously think of it as, why are you doing this? There's got to be a reason behind it. There's got to be a purpose. So, really live in the moment and do it with purpose. So that's kind of where that hashtag came from, and we just kind of want to be true and real to the company, and we thought it fit really well.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it is so important to have a purpose. And how do you think, having a purpose and being motivated again by things that transcend the traditional motivations, has contributed to your success and, your company's success? So could you kind of talk to us a little bit about the role of purpose and in your company and whatnot? So.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has, is on the same page in our office, and all believe in the same philosophy that we strive to promote. And whether it's coming to work with purpose or doing a certain task with purpose, going out and taking a lunch break and going on a mountain bike with purpose, I think that it really just makes us strive in the right direction, and work harder. We all know why we're here. Everyone's getting underpaid for because we're a startup and we can't pay anyone what they're worth, but everyone shows up every day ready to work because they believe in what we're doing, and they believe about the purpose behind what we're trying to do, and so that's kind of where we stand.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm sure it doesn't hurt that you're surrounded by, mountains and lakes and all that nice stuff.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't hurt.
Cool, man. So kind of switching gears over to the more kind of business side of things. What have you learned from, founding your own business? Like, what has the kind of journey been like? And, any advice to other people who are perhaps thinking of, starting their own gig? So yeah. Might be a vague question, but
I guess don't be afraid to fail. One of our mottos inside the office is fail fast, and just kind of putting yourself out there and fail fast and then learn from it and move on. Don't try to make things perfect, just get it done. But some of the main things that I've learned are communication skills, and team management is a huge one. Just kind of managing your employees and really communicating on what you exactly want them to do, and then giving them positive reinforcement, and then also listening to what they have to say. I think is huge. Time management is another one. It's kind of really, really stressful at times, and it's really overwhelming because as the founder, you kind of step back and you see all these things that have to be done, and it can be definitely overwhelming. But if you just narrow your focus and concentrate on one task at a time, it's definitely a lot easier that way. It's kind of something that I learned from my entrepreneurship trek is, just taking one step at a time, one, mountain peak at a time. Because when you look ahead, when you're on top of a mountain, and you're like, all right, we're going to hike 100 miles that way. You're like, what? No way. And if you just take it one step at a time, 2 days later, you're there. But, yeah, I mean, you learn a lot. It's definitely stressful. I think, all the paperwork and the back end of things, kind of like the legal work and all the stuff that you don't really think about when you're wanting to start your own business, was definitely eye-opening. Changing my organization from an LLC over to a C corporation was a lot harder than I thought, and so I'm right in the middle of that, and learning a lot with lawyers and our accountants and all the back end stuff. So every day is a learning experience, and I'm very grateful to be in this situation. But if I had a suggestion for everyone, make sure you're definitely passionate about what you want to start, because it's a full-time deal, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and you sometimes question yourself, why am I doing this? This is way too hard. But then other days, you have the best day in the world and you land a deal and you can think of anything else that you would want to be doing. So it's definitely a roller coaster, but I think it's definitely well worth the ride, whether it's successful or not. I think that I'm in the right place for the right reason.
Awesome. Cool. And yeah, while you guys are a startup, it definitely seems that you have a really good handle on things, and your mindset. My website also focuses heavily on positive psychology, and that's basically just all about how your thoughts and your mindset translate to tangible change and action. So definitely seems like you've got the right idea going on. So definitely seems like you guys are on to make some awesome stuff happen. So to wrap things up, like we said, in regards to 20-somethings, we don't have tons of money. We can't donate $1 million to X organization or, go spend a week doing whatever. But in your experience, is it necessary to have a lot of money or all the connections in the world to make tangible and impactful change?
Absolutely not. I mean, one way they could give back is going on to PlayHard GiveBack and buying some trail mix.
There you go.
But seriously, I mean,
you told me to ask that question just so we could give you the pitch.
Yeah.
No.
No, not at all. That's part of the main reason why we started the company is because as an athlete, you don't have the time and you don't have the resources and you don't have the money to necessarily give back in a big way. And so that's why we created this platform for people to buy healthy products, be inspired by the athlete, and be able to give back at the same time for a very minimal cost. And so that's kind of where we believe we can make a huge change, is that if we get a lot of people just spending a little bit amount of money on a really great healthy product while supporting athletes and social causes, then I think that we can have a pretty big impact.
Awesome, man. And for others who do kind of want to get involved in various social causes and giving back and other stuff like that, where do you suggest they go, and how do you suggest they get in touch with other people who are like-minded?
Yeah, well, definitely follow us, PlayHardGiveBack.com. We just like 5 minutes ago, literally, put our purchasing page live.
Nice.
So you are able to buy products and support our 3 athletes that we're featuring this week: Haley Duke, Tanner Farrow, and Jenna Greaser, 2 skiers and a mountain biker. And they're working with some really cool organizations. And then if you just hop on our website under causes, you can scroll down and check out all the nonprofits and social causes that we work with, and also follow them on all the social media platforms. And there's some really great people that are involved, and I think that if you align yourself with good people, good things will happen.
Awesome, man. And for anyone who wants to follow you guys and keep up with your events or your different fundraising opportunities, how could we get in touch with you guys and follow your progress?
Go to PlayHardGiveBack.com and sign up for the e-newsletter for sure. We have a really cool intern from University of Washington in Seattle that has been putting out some awesome newsletters and some blogs, so check that out. And then also follow us on Instagram, PlayHardGiveBack, all one word, and then Facebook, PlayHardGiveBack.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks a ton for coming on today, and it's been awesome learning how to change the world, and ready to get out there and go do it. So thanks a lot, and appreciate your time, bro.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.